Why would your partner suddenly refuse to touch you? My ex, Liam, was a serial cheater. I was stupidly in love, so I endured it all, naively believing that if I just loved him hard enough, he'd eventually change. It's cringeworthy now, but that's where my head was at the time. The cheating became brazen, with a couple of women even showing up at our house and my job, looking for him, and openly gloating about their relationships with him. This happened over the course of one unbelievably awful week. It was a chaotic mess, but it was just a prelude to a deeper, more chilling betrayal. After that week, something shifted dramatically. Liam, who was normally extremely sexually active, we're talking multiple times a day, suddenly wouldn't go near me. He wouldn't even touch me. It was so weird because, normally, if I ever said no, I'd be read the riot act. But now, he was the one vehemently refusing any kind of intimacy. He wouldn't even hold my hand. The coldness was unbearable, and I was just so confused. This went on for a solid month. He was staying home more, not blowing up at me as much, and he stopped going to the bar like he used to. The chaotic, unpredictable man I knew was replaced by a quiet, withdrawn stranger. The silence was a welcome change, but the reason for it was a terrifying mystery. Then, one morning, there was a frantic knocking on my door. It was my ex's best friend's brother's girlfriend. She was a complete mess, looking rough and panicked. I invited her in, and she immediately asked, "How much of a hit has your relationship with Liam taken?" I had no idea what she was talking about. I told her how he'd completely closed himself off, and we didn't even sleep in the same bed anymore. A new arrangement he'd started by saying he drooled a lot. As I was talking, she started having a panic attack and screamed, "You probably have it." I was stunned. "Have what?" I yelled, completely bewildered. She broke down and explained everything. The women who were harassing me that week were not just sleeping with Liam, but were also supplying him with drugs. My ex, his best friend's brother, and she had all shared utensils one night with these two women, and they had all contracted hepatitis. The women who had been harassing me were trying to find Liam, not just for the money he owed them, but to tell him the good news. I felt like I was going to throw up. I ran out of the house immediately and went to get tested for everything. Luckily, I was vaccinated for hepatitis B due to a previous job, so I was clean. His coldness and distance, which I had taken as a sign of his indifference, was actually one of the only good things he had done for me. It was his way of protecting me, not because he loved me, but because he was a coward who was afraid to tell me the truth. The woman who gave them all hepatitis knew she had it. She actually died from an overdose not long after all this came out. The whole thing was a terrible, nightmarish ordeal, but it was the one thing that finally gave me the strength to leave him and get my life back.